When you think about the reason we quit drinking, it's to be happier, it's to be more joyful in our lives. Otherwise, what's the point in quitting? We want to feel more peace, more calm, and enjoy life that much more. And that's absolutely what does happen when we quit drinking. But if we're not careful, we can miss the joyful moments that exist every single day. Now, when I was drinking, I was preoccupied with thoughts about how much wine I was going to have later in the day. And this was during the day. I wasn't actually drinking, but I would distract myself with thoughts about wine. I would be planning. I would be thinking about how much I was going to buy at the shop later on, what time I was going to start drinking, how much was I going to have. There was no time or mental bandwidth for me to invite joy in. I was completely preoccupied. And I would also use those thoughts about wine to distract me whenever uncomfortable feelings came up. In essence, it had become a coping mechanism, a way of coming away from anything that felt remotely uncomfortable. However, it was a completely unhealthy distraction because I was never actually dealing with the feelings. I was never allowing myself to feel those feelings of anger, frustration, resentment, or sadness. Whatever came up, I wasn't feeling it. I would just distract myself with thoughts about booze, and that was enough for me. And of course, when I quit drinking, I was allowing myself to feel all the feelings, good and bad. But what also happens when we're drinking and when we're distracting ourselves with thoughts about alcohol is we don't have the time or the mental capacity to notice the small things around us, the things that bring us joy in our lives. Now, you might have heard me talk recently about the tactic to use when your thinking brain becomes engaged, when you find yourself worrying about things in the future that haven't even happened yet, or dwelling on things from the past that maybe you feel sadness or guilt about. And my advice was to bring a conscious awareness to those things by saying out loud, thinking, and that can bring you back to the present moment and you can notice exactly what's around you. But I want to take that one step further to allow you to invite some joy into your life, because joyful things happen all the time. Just think about it. Often they're very small. It might just be a beautiful flower that you saw while you were out walking, or a bird of prey flying in the sky, or some children playing in the park, and they give you a small feeling of joy. Some things obviously give you a bigger feeling of joy than others. The same tactic works really, really well. But instead of saying thinking, simply say out loud joy, to bring a conscious awareness to the fact that that moment, that thing that's around you, has brought you a feeling of joy. No matter how big or how small it is, start to actually bring a true awareness to those moments where you experience joy in the day. You'll actually be surprised at how many things bring you joy. Even the things that just bring a small smile to your face or make you nod in appreciation give you a small feeling of joy. And it's okay for you to just say joy out loud and bring a conscious awareness to it. I've been experimenting with it for a number of weeks, and I'm amazed at how many things during the day, things that previously would have gone completely unnoticed, are bringing me joy. And by bringing my awareness to it allows me to really appreciate the joy. Of course, you could take it one step further and note those things down in your journal, but you might be surprised at how many things there are during each day. Sometimes I'm well into double figures every single day, just with small things that bring me joy. It could be a hot cup of coffee on a cold day. It could be watching the morning mist clear. Small things can bring us so much joy. But as I said, when we're drinking, it's rare that we notice them. And it can be easy to carry that habit even when we stop drinking. So really start to notice, start to pay attention to what is going on each and every day that brings you joy, even in the smallest amounts. And you'll notice how it makes you so much happier and so much grateful for all the good things that are showing up in your life. And even if you haven't quit drinking yet and you're working on that and you're moving forward day by day, there are still joyful things going on in your day, even the small victories. And sure, you might have some setbacks along the way. And we know that setbacks are an opportunity for us to adapt our strategy, learn what we can do different next time, and grow from the experience. But that doesn't need to be a block to joy. It's important to keep yourself in the moment. When you find yourself in the future, thinking about things that haven't happened yet, or dwelling on stuff from the past. Bring yourself back to the now. A great strategy to bring yourself back to the now is to notice 5 things that you can see around you at that moment, 4 things that you can hear that are around you right now, 3 things that you can smell, 2 things that you can touch, and 1 thing you can taste. As soon as you do that, and I would recommend saying them out loud or saying them to yourself in your head, as soon as you do that, you're going to bring yourself right back to the present moment. And that is a great strategy when you find yourself not in the moment, when you notice that you're not fully present and connected with the very moment that you're in right now. And it really, really helps. And this will help you invite even more joy and happiness into each and every single day. Now, there's a video right next to me. If you have been struggling to quit drinking, or you're early on in the journey, watch that video next. You can click on it now and watch it straight away. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just click the button on the screen and you can become part of this amazing community. And I'll see you again on the next video very, very soon.